Hey guys, it's Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. I've got a really fun fold card for you today. So, my card today features the What's Cookin' Bundle. It's a 13-piece cling stamp set, and you can bundle it up with the cooking dies and save 10% on both products. Did you think that I wasn't going to get this and feature it? Have you seen the theme of Kitchen Table Stamper? Look at this fun fold. Isn't that great? We got a little bit of work to do with our stamping and cutting, so let's get started. I'm going to get some ink pads and we'll get started. All right, I've got here Coastal Cabana, Real Red, Memento Tuxedo Black, Basic Gray, and Crumb Cake, and some scraps. Now, I chose to stamp and cut out most of the kitchen pieces, even in the inside. It gave me more freedom to place them. So we're going to start by stamping the items that are going to get cut out on some white scrap. I've got a little bowl, a mixing bowl here, and we're going to stamp that twice, once for the inside and once for the outside using Coastal Cabana. And then I've got measuring cups. Now you could stamp these right in on the inside of your card if you want to. I didn't want to take the chance with all that's going on there that they were not level. So I am going to stamp them once for the inside, glue them down, and once for the outside. Now I've got a spatula here, and I am going to stamp it once in Real Red. And what we're really interested in getting is the handle off of this one. And then I'm going to clean this one off and set it aside to dry because we're going to need to stamp it in gray. I got my simple chamois here, and I'll just clean that one right off. I love this little salt and pepper shaker. Let's ink those up in Tuxedo Black and stamp them. And now I've got the little rolling pin. We're going to stamp that one with Crumb Cake. And our wooden spoon. That one also in Crumb Cake. All right, now I think we are ready. Oh, one more thing. My little vegetable spray is kind of all over the base of the inside of our card, but I put 3 on the front, just kind of bumped up. So we're going to stamp those so that we can color them and cut them. I'm stamping them with Basic Gray. All right, I'm going to clear away the ink pads and grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we'll get these cut out. We have some multiples here, like the bowl and the measuring cup, so this is going to require at least 2 passes through the machine. The nice part is, though, on our first pass, we can run all of these dies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time. All right, I'm going to line these up and run them through, get all these little bits cut out, and I'll meet you right back here. Right, we're going through with our second pass here to get all of our little kitchen implements cut out. I just love this set, everything about it. Oh, look how cute they are. Got our second bowl, cups, and our little rolling pin. All right, we want to save aside our little vegetables. We'll color those in just a minute. I'm going to take my machine out of the way and bring in our card-based pieces. I've got a couple of pieces here. I've got some Designer Series paper. This is from the Pattern Party Host Pack. I love this black and white gingham, and this damask on the back isn't half bad either. I've got a piece of Basic White. It's 5 by 6 and scored at 2 and 4. Then I've got a piece of Basic Black. That's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right, let's grab our bone folder and work those scores. We're going to work these in a Z fold on the white, and that's it. We don't want to go too far on that because we're still going to stamp on there. I just want to be able to see the lines so that when I place my little vegetables in my sentiment, I can see which panel they're going into easily. We'll work those score lines again in just a minute. So let's set aside the insert. and bring back the card base. Got my gingham paper. I'm going to center it on the black card front. I'm going to use liquid glue, but just around the edges, because we are going to cut a window in this card. And the fun part is if we cut our window after we carefully glue around the edges, we'll have two little swoopy square label pieces, one in black and white gingham and one in black cardstock, that we could use for another project, which, if you ask me, is a winner. All right, so that's centered right there. We need our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine one more time. And we also need the die for our window. So for my window, I'm using this largest swoopy square from the Hippo and Friends. We're going to lay our card flat on the platform, or on the plate. So we got our cutting plate. We'll lay our card flat, and then we're gonna bring in the window and carefully position it so that it's centered right to left and then high of center and as level as we can get it. We really want a nice equal border on the right and left, and we want this to lay pretty level. And take just a second with your placement. And then I'm going to use a little bit of low-tack tape just to prevent it from slipping when we cut. Now we'll crank it through. Cut a hole in our perfectly good card. I know. Makes me nervous too. Trust me, it's worth it. All right, so that's going to come. Well, let's just back it out so we don't do any creasing to the back of our card. We're going to just pop this right out. There's our perfectly good card front with a hole in it now. And when we take this apart, as long as we're gentle with that low tack tape, we will have two perfectly good swoopy square labels that we can use on future projects. So these will make fantastic layers for more What's Cooking cards. So set those aside. And there's your card front. Pretty cool, right? I did some more die cutting ahead of time, so let me show you that as we're going to use it. Using that same swoopy square, and cut one from Coastal Cabana. This is the Hippo and Friends die set. We're using this largest one here from Coastal Cabana for our window. And then I've also got the medium one, the swoopy square from Hippo and Friends. This is cut from Basic Black. For my next layer up, I've got from Layering Circles, it's the 2 1/4 inch scallop circle, and this is cut from Real Red. I punched a 2-inch circle using the Raised Hired 2-inch circle punch for my final outer layer. Sentiment is going to go on the tailored tag, and I cut this one from Basic White using the smallest clip corner tag from Tailor Made Tags Dies, and from Basic Black, I cut one of those little D tag enforcers. All right, we got a little bit more stamping to do here. So let me just clear these to the side. I'm going to keep my tag. We're going to add a sentiment and bring in that inside panel, that 5x6 panel. So it's 6 inches scored at 2 and 4, and it's going to run across the 6-inch side here. All right. First thing I want to do is kind of dry fit my pieces. I want my spoon, my bowl. It's going to fit right in that 2-inch panel. I'm going to dry fit them in because that's going to help me decide the placement of my vegetables. And you know what? Before I get too far, let me just grab a piece of small grid paper here so I can protect my surface, because we're going to stamp those vegetables right off the edges. All right, so that's how I want my little bowl and spoon to go. I'm going to bring my measuring cups in, my little salt and pepper. Those are going to go in, and I got them kind of laid where I want them. This is basic gray ink, and I've got my little vegetables and my spatula. And the first thing we're going to do is ink up this spatula, and we're going to stamp that where we want it to overlap our spoon in our bowl. So I'm going to slide those out of the way and stamp. And then I'm going to slide them back for just a minute so we can see our vegetable placement. Next up are all the little smattering of vegetables. So I want one here, kind of like it's falling into or flipping out of the bowl. And I want one over here, like it kind of missed the bowl. And then a little sprite of them right here. Now the tomato is going to go under the bowl, but the other vegetables are going to show. So we'll line that up where we want it and then move the bowl out of the way. And then another little curl of vegetables. I just love this little stamp set. Oh my gosh. And then a couple off the edge over here. Ha! Cute, cute, cute. All right, so we've got everything pretty well dry fit, kind of an idea where it's all gonna sit. Let's grab a Memento Tuxedo Black Stampin' Pad and do our greetings. For inside, I have sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love. We're gonna put that on the center panel here. Oh my gosh, that's cute. Now we can slide all of this aside. We're gonna color it in just a minute. Let's get our tag back in here. And for the outside, the irresistible What's Cookin' greeting. Let's stamp that just a far to the right as we can because we're going to add a little de-enforcer and we don't want to cover that sentiment. Ha! What's cooking? Oh my gosh, I love it. I couldn't love it more. We'll bring our little veggies back in here. And my Stampin' Blends, I have very simple. Light Granny Apple, light Poppy Parade, dark Real Red, Color Lifter, and light Crumb Cake. Those are my colors for my vegetables. And when I'm coloring something like this, I go ahead and color all of one at a time. So I don't keep taking the marker caps on and off. I'm just going to do all my little celery, and I'm just dabbing in. I'm not even going for a complete fill here. It's kind of a sketchy little art line, and we're just dabbing in some green. And don't forget the 3 that you're going to pop up for the front of the card. Then I'm going to do all of my mushrooms at one time. The artist has drawn in kind of some little shadowy areas on one side that I'm following. I'm leaving some white areas. After all, mushrooms like these are very white. And then I'm going to blend the crumb cake and the white together to give me that mushroom color. Now I've got 4 more to do. Let me do them real quick and then we'll do the tomato. Okay, there's our mushrooms. Now, tomato. So I'm taking very different reds. I'm gonna do the seeds with the Poppy Parade. And then I'm gonna do the flesh with the Real Red. This is dark Real Red. And again, not perfect. And then where the 2 come together, just touch with the Poppy Parade again. I'm going to do all those little tomato flesh. Don't forget the one that we're going to pop out for the front. All right, then last up on our tomatoes, there's a little tiny stem. We're going to just quickly with the same light Granny Apple green, touch the stems and color them in. Cute. I'm going to grab my paper snips and I'm going to cut out these little vegetables. Sad there's no die, but I do love to cut. So let me show you a couple of quick tips for this. You want to move the vegetable around with your non-dominant hand, and the scissor just opens and closes. So you're not trying to trace out the little vegetable with the scissors. You're actually steering it into the scissors. All right, just roll, leave a little white border. No prize for cutting it out in one piece. So just keep hacking away into smaller pieces, and there's our little tomato. All right, I'm going to cut out these other 2 guys and do a little surgery on our spatula real quick. We're going to cut away the red top. All right, I'm going to do some fussy cutting and meet you right back here and we'll get this card put together. Isn't it great? Okay, there's our little pop-out vegetables. Let's get some liquid glue and glue down our pieces for the inside here. So we're going to put a little bit on the spatula handle. And like magic, we're going to have a two-tone spatula. They're pretty, so pretty, like the ones I have in my kitchen. All right, then the bowl and spoon, multi-purpose liquid glue for these little bits. You're more than welcome to do this effect by layering and masking if that's where you are comfortable. I am much more comfortable cutting and gluing. So this is something that can be done with masking, but I don't have as much patience for it. I'm a much more patient cut and gluer. So we'll just glue our pieces right in. Then our little measuring cups are next. A multi-purpose liquid glue. Dot, dot, don't need a lot. Cute, I love it. Now, I'm gonna hold off on my salt and pepper shaker for just a minute and I'll show you why. Let's grab some tear and tape adhesive and let's get the mechanism of this card working. So those are for the inside and these are for the outside. And here's our sample once again. So now we're gonna do this little mechanism so that your card will flow open. Isn't that cool? I just love this card. So we'll need 3 pieces. Our coastal cabana label, our inside pieces, and our card base. First thing we'll do here is we'll fold these the way that they're supposed to go. So from left to right, it should go mountain and then valley. And then on the back side, we're gonna add tear and tape adhesive. Got 2 strips of tear and tape. Let's expose the adhesive. And we're gonna put this in our card base. I like to make it so it's got an even border, right, top and bottom. And then burnish it down. You can burnish it from the back if you like. Then we're gonna close the card and add the label. Now it's very important that you add glue only where the label is going to stick to the whisper white part. So I find that the easiest way to do that is just close your card and then using liquid glue, just kind of roughly trace the opening. And this is going to get a lot of movement, so go a little bit generous with the glue, but spread it out thin so it doesn't ooze out and glue the card closed anywhere. Now you'll set the die cut right inside the panel and burnish that right side. You ready for some magic? Lift and pull. Ha-ha! Isn't that cool? You can do that with any die cut shape that you have. So the sky is the limit. Expect to see some more of these fun folds from me. All right, we're almost done here. Let's glue our layers together for the outside and finish assembling our tag. I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue and put these 3 layers together, just centered. Also going to glue the little D enforcer to my What's Cookin' tag. I've got some red stitched grosgrain ribbon from the Playful Pets collection. I love this bright, happy little trim, and it comes with black and white baker's twine, so you can't miss on this combo pack. I'm going to slide through the tag from the front to the back. Then we pinch up, over, tuck, and pull. You get the perfect bow every time. Ears are up, tails are down. Hold the knot and adjust the loops. Then when you've got the bow that you like, you can cut it away from the spool. And on this side, we'll just adjust the angle. And look at that, that's all the waste because we tied right from the spool. Let's bring in our card, and it's time to decorate the front of it. Going to add our label stack with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And the rest is going to go on with black Stampin' Dimensionals. So let me grab the black Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just in love with this product, the black Stampin' Dimensional combo pack. You get the regular size and the mini size in one pack. I'm going to take the minis and put them on the back of the tag. Kind of stay into the bottom half because it is going to overlap your window just a little bit. I'm going to cut 1 1/2 on the mini sheet here and put little half bits of dimensional on my vegetables. On my bowl, I'm going to use some of these cut-off pieces from the end here. And I'm holding off on dimensionals for the measuring cups and the rolling pin because they sit on top of the bowl. So we want to place the dimensionals carefully. First thing I'm going to do is put my bowl kind of a little bit low of center on the circle here. Now we can come in with the rolling pin, and we want to make sure that where we add the rolling pin, it's going to clear the edges of the card. All right, so we can place our dimensionals now. We can see where it's going to be and where it's going to overlap the bowl that's already up on dimensionals. So add some dimensionals to the card and then add the rolling pin to the dimensionals. Keeping it within the bounds of the label. All right, now my measuring cups. I'm going to need a dimensional. I'm going to put it right nestled in there. And then we can add our little cups. Make sure that they are inside of the label also. So cute. I love it. I love it. Don't forget your little vegetables. They're kind of the star of the show. Cute, cute, cute. Last, our little What's Cookin' tag. Now the placement on this one's going to be careful. So what I want you to do when you place this one is open the card, right? When you got it fully open, then come back and bring your What's Cookin'. And before you burnish it down entirely, you can close the card and just make sure that it swings nicely over the greeting and you like the placement of it. When you got that, then burnish it down. Got to pop it open one more time because remember we've still got our adorable little salt and pepper shakers, and you'll notice that they go over the label. So let's go ahead and glue those down on the inside of the card now using multi-purpose liquid glue. I love how they're doing kind of a little salt and pepper shaker jig. So cute. And there, my friends, is What's Cookin'. Sending you a dash of kindness and a spoonful of love. If you got any questions about the project, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. If there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, reach out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.